Hello, everyone. This is Molly. I am sorry, first of all, for having not posted a video in what seems to be forever. I've been ridiculously busy with life and classes and a whole bunch of bullshit. Um, which brings me to today's topic, which is having a disability or illness or whatever while being in college. So, a little background if you haven't watched any of my other videos. I developed my condition, which is my seizure disorder, um, or my PNES, psychogenic non epileptic seizures, my freshman year of college during beginning of spring term. And about 3 weeks in, I ended up having to drop out, and I went back sophomore year for fall term. I was a part-time student for that year, and I'm a junior now. And yeah, I was also a part-time student for fall term, and this was winter term. And for the first time, I was a full-time student and actually did okay. So that was kind of cool. Pretty proud of myself. So anyway, I sorry, dog is making noise, chewing on his ball. So yeah, first of all, I guess I'll talk about uh, dealing with the stress of classes, while you are also sick. I know for me, sometimes I can't go to classes. I'll wake up in the morning, I have a horrible migraine, or I'll wake up in the morning and have a seizure. Um, or I also deal with anxiety, so sometimes I will get myself ready to go and I'm about to walk out the door and I just can't. I cannot walk out the door and that's it for the day. Um, which kind of sucks. So it's not easy having to deal with that and then, having to sit through, 2 hour classes and then hours of homework when your brain just can't focus and you have these deadlines and you're stressed about getting good grades and all this, and it just adds on more stress, which makes you have, you know, your mind and your body is correlated. And no matter what your disability is, no matter what your condition is, it's all correlated. If you're in a bad mental state, it's gonna affect your physical health. So that's something. And then it's just this whole cycle of, your physical health is worse, so it affects your mental state, and then your mental state is worse, so it affects your physical health. And then you can't go to classes, and then you're stressed and all kinds of stuff. So if you're in college, or if you're about to go in college and you have a disability of some sort, a lot of colleges have, or I assume a lot of colleges have, disability centers. I go to the University of Oregon, and we have, here it's called the Access Education Center, because Oregon is very politically correct, which I find kind of funny because I'm not from Oregon. Anyway, you can, these types of services that are offered are really, really great, and I encourage people that are in need of them to take advantage of them. You're not taking advantage of the system. It doesn't mean that you can't do it. It doesn't mean that, I don't know, when I first started using the services of the disability center and taking, using accommodations for my classes, I was feeling really bad about it. I felt like I didn't really need them, like I was taking advantage of the system, like I was getting it easier than everyone else, like it wasn't fair, I was having advantages. And this was at a time when I was having like 8 to 10 seizures a day, and yet I still thought this, and I feel like it's kind of a common thought among people with disabilities that they don't deserve to have these accommodations. You do. You deserve it. My specific accommodations that I get, I am allowed to have more absences in classes if there are classes that, have, mandatory attendance. I'm allowed to miss some of those, and it doesn't affect my grade. Um, that being said, I still try as hard as I can to get to them. And I still get stressed when I miss them because I'm missing work, and then it's extra work to catch up on. And what else do I get? I get to take my exams at the testing center, meaning that I'm basically in a, room by myself taking the test. I don't have all this other stuff going around me, with, I can just focus on myself. If I'm going to have a seizure, then first of all, I'm not disturbing the other people around, which, that would kind of suck for everyone else around taking an exam, then random girl having a seizure in the middle of the room. And because I have had that, I was taking a test and my dog alerted me that I was going to have a seizure. And I was like, well, fuck. And I just like kind of went out of the room and like told the people at the testing center, like, hey, this is happening now. They're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, take your time. Here, we'll turn off the lights for you. Here, do you want a blanket? Do you want a pillow? Like, yeah, take your time. Okay. And so I also get time and a half on my exams, because my concentration sometimes really, really sucks because of the concussions and the migraines and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, time and a half. Like if an exam is an hour long, I get, to take it in an hour and a half, which has been really helpful. I also have the ability to request different formats of exams if my my brain functions in a way where multiple choice is really, really hard for me. I I retain information. I just can't retain information that way. And a lot of my professors, if I go and talk to them, they are very willing to give me take-home exams, which often require a lot more time and maybe like long essays and a lot more work actually. But I I can do them a lot better, and I can take breaks, and I don't have to just spend an hour, 2 hours focusing on this one thing that's really hard for my brain to concentrate on. So that's really helpful. And one thing that's hard is the way that it's viewed in terms of other people. I've had trouble telling other people about my accommodations because I often feel like they don't get it. I've had reactions like, "Oh, you get it easier, because they just don't understand, especially if you have an invisible disability. They just they may see it as you having it easier, but it's like, yo, do you want to have seizures? Do you want migraines? Like, yeah, totally easier. Go for it. Like, I would definitely rather not have the accommodations and not have any of my health issues. And so I just rather not tell them. And if it comes down to it, I tell them. It's just like, fuck off. But it's still hard. But yeah, in general, professors are really willing to work with you, and that's really great. So if you have a disability, take advantage of what's given to you. It makes your life so much easier, and it makes it so much easier to succeed because you can succeed. It's not because you're sick or have a disability that you can't do well in college, that you can't have an education. You can, and you can do well. for the first time in a year and a half, took a full course load, and I, I'm, I just finished my last final, and I'm pretty sure I'm getting straight A's. So, I mean, not to brag, but it's just like I'm pretty proud of myself. I did not think, if I had to think a year and a half ago, shit, almost 2 years when I started having my seizures, that I would ever be able to do this. It wasn't something that I could even consider. So take advantage of what's offered. I don't want to make this video too long, so I think I'm going to stop now, and I'll make another one about kind of the social aspects of, going about being in college with a disability. So yeah, I'll do that in a separate video because it's already like 10 minutes long, and that's gotta be annoying to just watch me talk for 10 minutes. So on that note, I'm done with finals. I'm gonna be on spring break, so have a good vacation to all of you guys, and yeah, see you in the next video.